All right, so the purpose of your Gizmos activity was to understand the reasons for the seasons, like why do seasons even happen here on Earth? And so you had to formulate a hypothesis about why you think it is colder in December than in June in the Northern Hemisphere. So you started out by showing the sun's rays and positioning this person at the 40 degrees north latitude position on Earth. Then you collected some data, right? So you had to count the rays on the panel. So the rays on this panel here, all right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rays on this panel. Then over here, you have significantly fewer rays, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 rays over here compared to the 9 over here. All right. Then you had to look at the temperature, which is right here, and you were supposed to put it in degrees Celsius. So 34 degrees Celsius versus negative 4 degrees Celsius. And the daylight hours. So in June, there's 14.9 daylight hours, and in December, there's 9.1 daylight hours. And then last but not least, you're supposed to measure the angle of the sun. And so you took out your protractor, and you're supposed to line it up so that the angle would go right through the center of the T. That gives us about 74 degrees over here on the June side. So the way I did that is there's a 0 here, and I counted up to right there. So 74 degrees over here in June. And in December, that one's kind of hard to see. In December, it is about 26 degrees, okay? And depending on how you positioned it, you know, it might vary. But you should have got around 75 degrees for June and 25 degrees for December. So then you analyzed your data. So when is there more daylight? Obviously, it's in June. When is there more sun hitting the solar panels? June. And how does the angle of sun rays relate to temperature? So when there is a greater angle, all right, so when the angle is near that 90 degrees, it's almost, it's more direct. So it's more directly hitting the earth. More rays are able to hit the earth. And so we see an increase in temperature when the angle is greater, and therefore more rays are allowed to hit the earth. So finally, you should have drawn a conclusion. So why is it colder in winter than in summer? And you have to give 2 reasons. And there's more than 2 reasons, but more rays can hit, more direct sunlight. The angle of the sunlight is greater. So it's things like that, okay? So there's more hours of daylight. That also has something to do with it. So I hope you were able to complete at least activity A. If not, go back and you need to rewatch this video and modify your assignment.